Exceltur, la touroperación ante el futuro, visión de un gran cliente de España, que se desarrollará en inglés con traducción simultánea al español. Señoras y señores, demos la bienvenida al escenario a Steve Hippie, CEO de Jet2 Holidays, y a José Luis Toreda, vicepresidente ejecutivo de Exceltur.
Oh, we've got it.
Buenos días a todos, muchas gracias por su asistencia y por ir rápidamente entrando en tema. Uno de los elementos claves que vamos a debatir es cómo transformar nuestro sector, cómo hacerlo más sostenible y cómo adaptar las nuevas tecnologías. Pero como punto de partida previo es muy importante saber qué opinan nuestros clientes, qué opinan nuestros grandes compradores. Y en este foro tenemos el enorme privilegio de contar en el escenario con Steve Hippie y más tarde con el CEO de TUI, para darles una idea de lo que representan estas dos compañías en el escenario turístico español. España recibe 17,5 millones de turistas paquetizados. De ellos, entre la compañía que preside el señor Hippie y nuestro posterior interviniente, detentan el 52% de la cuota de mercado de este turismo paquetizado que nos trae en España. En concreto, el grupo Jet2Go, para algunos de ustedes muy conocido, pero para otros menos, es un grupo que nos trae 4 millones de turistas a España, 8 millones de pasajeros, la tercera línea aérea en UK, 110 aviones este verano, un volumen de negocio que cercano a los 4.000 millones de euros, 11.000 empleados y sobre todo, y que es lo que nos ha hecho invitarle a Steve, un touroperador que apuesta decididamente por España. El 52% del volumen de negocio de su compañía, que es el segundo touroperador inglés, está en España, en Canarias, en Baleares, en destinos de interior y básicamente en destinos de sol y playa. Thank you very much, Steve, for having accepted our invitation. And let's see what you can tell us about Spain, about the so-called future of tour operators, where some voices proclaim they're dead, some other ones say they have a future. And the first question is, you like to proclaim yourself as being, let's say, the home of the real package holiday, at least in the UK. What does that mean, and what is your differentiation in respect to some other people which are also struggling to find their way in the tour operating business?
Okay. Our philosophy is to put the customer at the heart of everything. The customer is still king or queen. Always has been, always will be. And there is the movement today whereby companies tend to put other things before that. Obviously, everyone's focused on profitability, people talking about putting big data at the centre of everything, digital at the centre of everything. Well, for us, the customer's at the centre of everything. Digital, data, all these other things are an enabler to enhance the customer experience. So it might seem somewhat of an old-fashioned view, but everything we do is to make the customer happy. And that's irrespective of whether they are a 2-star customer or a 5-star customer. Many companies concentrate all their efforts on the 5-star customers. We must look after the rich people. They've paid a lot of money for the holiday. But people staying on a 2-star holiday very often commit a much higher proportion of their disposable income. Someone earning £1 million a year and spending $10,000 on a holiday is spending 1% of their income. Someone earning the average salary in the UK of $26,000 and spending $2,500 is spending 10% of their income. Therefore, the lower star ratings are just as important as the higher star ratings, and everybody is treated like a VIP. The customer is everything. Customers have a choice. If they don't like it, they can walk away and go with someone else.
Aside of putting the customer in the center, which is clear, which other are your secrets for having grown a compounded average of over 25% in the last 15 years since they started? Something else must be part of the secret.
You are, and they are secret. I mean, it's obvious, really. Our customer journey starts when people visit the website or the call centre. We answer all phone calls in 80 seconds all round the year. We have a very big call centre. We have more customer helpers at the airports than anyone else. Our customer training programme applies to everyone. I've been on it, the pilots go on it, engineers, everybody goes on our customer service training. We have more representatives in resort per customer than any other company. There's a new tour operator starting in the UK who aren't going to have representatives in resort. No people. If you want something, visit the website, visit the app, talk to an automated bot that will answer your questions. That's not what a lot of people want. A lot of people still want the traditional experience whereby they have a helping hand if they want one. And that's what we try to do, just provide the best experience to the customers. Customers are very valuable commodities. They're very hard to gain and very easy to lose. And we go 100% in our efforts to make the customer experience the best. That's why, I hope this doesn't sound arrogant, that's why we win all the awards, because we put the customer first.
With over 110 airplanes, which places you as the third airline in the UK, what would you define yourself? An airline backed by a tour operating group, or a tour operating group backed by an airline?
That's still not working. Neither. We're not an airline with a tour operator. We're not a tour operator with an airline. We are a leisure business that has two products, flight only and package holidays. The leisure business is completely integrated. Both the airline and the tour operator report into me. They run as one company. We don't have an airline competing with a tour operator. I think that can sometimes create complications. They become two little empires. It is one company providing two products, flight only and package holidays, and that's how we see it. There are no silos, no empires, just one company.
So all of the passengers that the Jet2 holiday group carries are through Jet2 Airlines or not?
Yes, we only use Jet2 aircraft. We don't put people on third-party airlines. After the collapse of Thomas Cook, we were the only tour operator that didn't have to repatriate customers. We could concentrate on looking after our customers, after growing our business, rescuing stranded passengers, because we didn't use third-party flights. Other operators had to spend days, weeks, months sorting out bookings and rebooking them onto different airlines. We only use our own airline because it's the best airline in Europe, according to TripAdvisor.
Okay, since you didn't want to tell us too many of your secrets,
yes.
Let's rephrase the question in another way.
Yes.
Which are the most proud, let's say, moments in the history of Jet2 that you would pinpoint?
I think the awards that we receive are the proudest things, because without customers, a business is nothing. And when customers and travel agents, etc., vote us as the best, I think that's a huge accolade to the team. We've been voted for the last 3 years best airline in the UK, best airline in Europe, top 10 airlines in the world, and that's against Qatar, Emirates, Singapore, etc. We win the best tour operator as voted by travel agents. We won it last week, the Globe Awards, for the 6th year running, best airline, best tour operator. We don't go specifically after winning these awards. We do our best for the customers, they appreciate it, and they regard us as the best. And there is no better feeling than having happy customers that want to rebook with you.
Okay, I'll go back again.
Okay, I'm not answering your question.
Finding some of your secrets.
But a secret told is no longer a secret.
Well, let's put it in another way, rephrase it. EasyJet Holidays have launched it and say that they plan to disrupt the market. What has Jet2 Holidays done, if so, to disrupt the market?
We like to think of ourselves as innovators. 10 years ago, we started doing our flexible durations. Because of the size of our aircraft fleet, we can put on many flights to a single destination, very often daily. And we don't tie our customers into staying 10, 7, 14 nights. They can book for any duration we want. We've had people have booked 1-night holidays, 9 nights, 23 nights, 84 nights, 111 nights. They can book whatever they want. We don't put restrictions on the duration because, again, the customer is king or queen. If they want to go for 9 nights on a Thursday, they can go for 9 nights on a Thursday. We don't dictate to them, you have to go for 10 nights and you have to go on a Tuesday because that suits us. We put any duration on sale and give the customers the ultimate flexibility. We pioneered our resort flight check-in service whereby people can check in for their return flight in their hotel on the last day of the holiday. And we've seen at the hotels where this service is offered that people specifically want to rebook at that hotel because of the service. People want to book at hotels specifically for that. And again, customer service. We've seen our competitors cut costs, cut the number of reps, cut IT costs, outsource things, send things to India, to South Africa. We don't do that. We invest in staff, we invest in the company, and make the customer experience as good as possible.
You made some declarations to the, I think, the UK press some time ago that yet to have overpassed the legacy period of the tour operators. What would you rate as tour operators which still too much involved in legacy procedures? And how long do you think that these old procedures for tour operating will last?
Well, I think there's with, let's call them the legacy operators, I think there's a few things. First of all is the fixed durations, dictating to customers in the modern age that they have to go for 7, 10 or 14 nights. If they want to go on holiday, it's got to be a Tuesday or a Thursday, is rather old-fashioned because people know what they want and they expect to be given that. In the age of convenience and ultimate flexibility, people expect that with a holiday. I think the days where tour operators, and I've worked for other big tour operators, insist on exclusivities with hotels. I think that's very damaging for the tour operator because it changes behaviour. You have to funnel a lot of your volume into those hotels, which perhaps isn't the best thing to do. It's not good for the customer because it reduces choice. You can't have the same number of hotels on sale if you've got massive exclusivities. And also it creates a monopoly situation. Monopoly situations create higher prices for the customers. And it's not good for the hotel because very often it's not a case of if you're going to get screwed, it's when and how hard. And that's because you really only have one customer. And we saw that with the collapse of Thomas Cook. These hotels had one customer, Thomas Cook, and that customer hadn't paid them. So then Thomas Cook went bust. They had no brand because they'd rebranded as a Thomas Cook hotel. They had no customers because it went bust. And they had no money because they hadn't paid them. And I think this traditional model of, is it not working properly? Oh. Is that better? Yeah. This traditional model from tour operators of trying to push hoteliers into exclusivity is quite damaging.
Okay.
There's a bit of a technical issue here. I think he's trying to shut me up.
Okay.
He's trying to undress me.
I think the microphone works. So
okay,
go with the microphone.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm also in a bad position. Go on, sorry.
So
I was just mentioning that the dangers of signing all your production with just one buyer.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous for a hotel to do. We've seen instances where hotels have ended up in not a great situation. When you rebrand your hotel to fit in with a tour operator's brand, you only have one customer in the hotel, that's that tour operator, and then you accept delayed payments, that's not a very good thing for the hotels. We pay all our hotels on time, 30 days. We know other big tour operators pay on 60 days. One tour operator that I won't mention that is no longer in existence paid on 80, 90 days. That's not right. We've all got businesses to run. We know how important cash flow is to the business, and we believe hoteliers should be paid on time. Hoteliers need certainty. Therefore, we pay on 30 days.
So let me ask you one question. You don't ask for exclusivity. How do you ensure yourself you'll have the, let's say, product in place at your disposal when you need it?
We enter into arrangements with our hotel partners where we will secure rooms by various different mechanisms, which involves quite an investment in terms of risk and guarantees, etc. And we secure the rooms that we need through those means. But it does help when you pay hoteliers on time. Okay. And that's another thing of the traditional tour operator. Never mind the hotels, it's all about the tour operators. They'll get the money when they get it. We think they should be paid on time, as per the contracts.
To finish a little bit this part about the future of the tour operators. I live in Manchester. I've been in Mallorca 25 summers. Why do I have to go to Jet2 Holidays to buy my holiday in Mallorca? What will be the profit and the benefit with all the opportunities I have now to go through internet, find appropriate flights? I know the hotel I want to go. I know the destination. Why should I go into a travel agency or buy through your webpage a package tour to Mallorca?
I think lots of people, first of all, on the package tour bit, lots of people still want a package tour. We saw with the collapse of Thomas Cook and Monarch before that, people that package their own holidays, book flights and accommodation separately, they have no protection. Where if you book a package holiday, you are protected under atoll regulations, and there's some protection under ABTA as well. And I like to think I work hard, but when I get home, I'm very lazy, and I like things done for me. So therefore, when I book a holiday, I'd rather just give someone some money and say, you arrange it. I can't be bothered booking the flight. I can't be bothered booking the accommodation. I'll probably get it wrong anyway, and I haven't got the time. So it's the convenience, the security, and the fact you know that if there are issues in resort or at any time up to the booking, it will be sorted by the tour operator, and that's what people are paying for. We have to justify our margin, and the way, in my opinion, you justify the margin is to give the tour operator the best experience possible, an absolutely seamless experience. Treat them as a VIP, every customer, whether it's 2-star or 5-star, and justify the margin. If you can't justify the margin, you might as well pack in, because you will not survive. You have to justify the margin.
Okay, let me change a little bit. And before getting into the end, which will be your views on Spain, how do you view Spain, and what we can do to improve our competitive position, let me before ask you, sustainability.
Yes.
Is a real buzzword of the moment.
Yeah.
How do you face sustainability from a tour operator point of view, or how relevant is in your decision making?
Sustainability is very relevant, and I'd put sustainability into 3 categories. When people talk about sustainability, everybody talks about environmental sustainability. I'll talk about that in a minute. But there is also commercial sustainability and social sustainability. In terms of the environment, we take that very seriously. We have done a lot already. We've reduced the weight of all of our flights. We pioneered lightweight seating, lightweight trolleys on board. We've bought brand new aircraft. We're working with fuel companies to work on biofuels. We're doing lots of things to reduce our carbon footprint. We spend 25 million a year on carbon credits, which the EU are supposed to spend on projects to help the environment, and we pay APD, which goes towards the environment. We're also liaising with various charities in the UK in order to completely offset our carbon footprint in terms of planting trees, etc. It is very important, and it will continue to be very important. What we have to do as an industry, though, is make sure we are not the only ones that are doing this. There are lots of other things that can be done. Airlines is a very, very easy target. Just slap a tax on, the passengers can pay some more. But shipping is more polluting than air travel. Farming is probably the most polluting industry. You emit the same carbon footprint producing 4 pounds of beef as you do with a London to New York flight. That's how polluting farming is, but I don't see people crying out for big taxes on farming. One of the biggest things that can be done to reduce emissions in Europe is for the EU to restructure the airspace, but they won't do that because the French air traffic controllers don't like it and go on strike. If they sort that out, that will reduce emissions overnight by 10%. So we're doing our bit, but we expect other people to do their bit as well, and we have to be very careful as an industry that we are not the only people doing this. The EU can do lots. If people are that serious, change your eating habits. Don't eat as much meat. You know, there are 5 billion animals grown and slaughtered every year to feed the world's population. 4 pounds of beef is the same as a London to New York flight. Multiply 4 pounds of beef, extrapolate that out for 5 billion animals. That's a lot of flights from New York to London.
Okay. Let me just finalize in this issue by other customers requesting you and comparing which can be more sustainable destinations, which may be more sustainable hotels, which is sustainability a driving decision issue from the customers when they come and look at your package holidays?
No, it's not. Where other companies have put a charge onto flights, which is it's optional. You can pay an optional fee to offset your carbon. And another airline that have done this saw that only 6% of people volunteered to offset the carbon. So we're working on a mandatory scheme where all fares will include a carbon offset. Because everybody wants to save the environment, everybody wants to do what's right, as long as it doesn't inconvenience them and it doesn't cost them more money. So when you make things optional, people tend not to do it. And just putting taxes on things puts things out of the reach of people with less money. And it becomes a bit like the thing that used to happen in the medieval times where the rich people could go and kill who they wanted and do what they want, and they just pay a priest a few pounds for an indulgence, and that would wipe away the sins. And we can't have the environment becoming like that, where you just pay money and forget about it because I've got the money to do it, because that becomes exclusive, and it's air travel, etc., becomes a thing just for the rich. And surely that's not a good thing for communities. So we want to put a mandatory fee whereby everybody will offset their carbon. If you make it voluntary, people won't do it if it's more expensive. If you make it voluntary, people won't do it because it inconveniences them. So the best thing is just collect money off people and offset the carbon.
Okay, well, we're starting to finalize, and I'll try to put you 2 questions, which I'm sure are of the great interest of the audience. How long is Jet2 Group will be betting on Spain to keep being its major customer of all the alternative destinations that you have ahead? And the second question for you, which is very linked, you have almost 150 top public sector officials and over 900 leading businessmen here. What would you request them to do in order to improve our competitive proposal and the attractiveness of Spain? And don't tell us price. What can you do in addition to price in order to still be favored by the great percentage that your company has on Spain?
Okay, well, to answer the first question, Jet2 Holidays is in Spain, and we're here to stay, and jet2.com. We've grown in Spain for the last 15 years. We will be growing further. We're not running away to Egypt. We're not running away to Tunisia, to Morocco. We're not looking for lots of new places. We're staying loyal to Spain. And our hotelier friends and colleagues here will confirm that we have grown in Spain for the last 15 years. I give you my commitment, we are not going anywhere else. We are here to stay. You will have to drag us out of Spain, kicking and screaming. We are here to stay. It's 60% of our volume. It's always been a huge part of our business and will continue to be so. So Jet2 Holidays is here to stay, and we're here to build and to grow. To answer the second question, I think the best thing that we can do is understand the markets and understand the customers. It's very easy to make decisions which appear to be the right things. We're very happy to meet our public sector colleagues and the hotelier colleagues and talk about what the UK public wants. We've got 7 seconds left, but I might have to overrun a couple of minutes. We have to know our product and have to know our market. You have to understand the customer. And it's very easy sometimes to make decisions that appear to be the right ones, but sometimes they can have unintended consequences. If I may, for 1 minute. I mean, I've seen what's happening in some of the Balearic resorts to cut down drinking. I agree action needs taking because the behaviour of some people is disgraceful. But we have to be careful we don't drive away customers that we want to stay. Many people work for 51 weeks a year in a supermarket, putting tins of soup on a shelf. They want to go on holiday, lie next to a pool and have a few drinks during the day. They want to pay an amount of money up front. They don't want to take a chance on the exchange rate and pay for the drinks one by one. We have the situation whereby those type of customers may be alienated. That may be an unintended consequence of the action that's been taken. Therefore, it's very important to know the market, know the customer, and know the product. And we're very happy to meet our hotelier partners to talk about them. We do an enormous amount of research into the market and the customer. And you have to listen to the customer. Their tastes are changing. Over 50% of customers base where they go when they're on holiday on Instagram. They are led by Instagram. And the world is changing, and we have to keep up with these technological, social, and cultural changes. If we don't, we will die. As Charles Darwin said, it's not the biggest or strongest that survive, it's the quickest to adapt.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.
We could go over for a long time, but we ran out of time. I would like to give a big applause.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Cheers.
A continuación, damos paso al siguiente panel.